All right, so with the cow catcher, we're starting with this billet here, but this is kind of a funky shape. And if we dig into this a little bit further, this is kind of the thing without all the accoutrement on it. So we've got an indentation here on this side and the pegs on the back and whatnot, but this is just the raw shape. So what we did here is basically we started with two sketches, one at the top and one on the bottom. I started with the one on the bottom, and if we go and look at this thing, and we suppress it. Oh, I don't want to suppress it. Unsuppress. Edit feature. We just essentially drew on a plane down here on the normal sketch, and then we did a plane that was elevated up 0.75 degrees, the height of this thing, to get it to another sketch plane that we sketched directly above the bottom one. So there's two different planes that we've sketched on. And then once we had those two different planes, we just did a loft between this outside edge and this outside edge and lofted the two shapes together to make a solid. Okay, so if you need a hand with creating a plane, I can show you that real quick. Start a sketch. Let's do a new part. So just remember that what we did is we created a sketch on a base, and if I sketch a rectangle and finish that sketch, and then I want to sketch above it, I create a plane and I go over to origin and pick the plane that I want to go to, and you have to select one of these circles and start to drag it up and then put in the dimensions. For instance, if I want to go up an inch or an inch and a half, I can go up an inch and a half, and then I can sketch on this plane directly above the one on the bottom. I can reference those lines. I can project geometry up here. Remember, project geometry if I need to. But let's create an ellipse up here, just in space. I can't reference that line because it's not on the tangent. So I'm going to project the geometry of that line so I can find the center. And now I have two different sketches, two different shapes, and I can do a loft between the two. I select the outside edge of the bottom, the outside edge of the top, and now it goes to a 3D loft. Lofts from a square to a rectangle. And that's how you do a loft. You just offset the sketch plane and whatnot. So the same principle with this. You're just creating the base sketch, that, overlaying the top sketch on top of it on an offset plane. So you finish this sketch. You go to, when you finish the sketch, you can select the plane tool, select the plane, offset it so that it's offset however high it needs to be offset, and then just do a loft. So that's the other thing. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was we wanted to kind of give it our own touch. This is more of a cow killer than it is a cow catcher. So let's do what we can to make this into more of a cow scarer offer, if you will, or something that will allow us to not be so cruel to the animals. So what I did was I just stuck in a couple pictures in there, and you can see, here we are. So that's kind of scary, you know. A cow sees that coming, he's gonna run. So anyway, just modify it a little bit, make it your own design. You can change the shape if you want. That's fine too, as long as it fits the pins in the back. Those have to fit and meet up with the train front. So that's the only thing. You can make this taller, wider. Figure out to do a loft and make a big slide and shoot the cow off to the side. I can't talk, but have fun with it. Just make it your own. So that's the cow catcher.